What is up? It is Tae's Way. How are you? I know it has been like a while since I recorded a video, and I do apologize for that. Maybe it hasn't been that long, but it's been about 2 weeks, 10 days. I actually got COVID, so I was down for a good 10 days, and it was not fun. So, but I did survive. I did not have to, end up in the hospital or anything like that. And for those of you who have, lost loved ones, or of anyone who has COVID, is not doing too well, or because I know some people that I've been close to that their family members have died of COVID. So it's tough. And I just thank the Most High that I am here. So I did tell you guys that I was helping to take care of my grandma every day, and of course that had to stop. So basically, I'm gonna tell y'all when I got COVID and what I did to get better and everything like that. So I started experiencing symptoms October 1st. And what really stuck out was, because usually I'll get tension headaches and stuff or something like that, and that's really not a big deal to me, but my headache was like really my head was really hurting, and I was just like, what in the world is this? And then I started to feel like getting stuffy, and I started to cough a lot. I still have a little cough still. My chest was hurting. So I was just like, maybe it's just allergies. So I ended up going to the VA because I'm a veteran. I'm a Army veteran. So I ended up going to the VA, and I got tested, and of course came back positive. So I was just like, damn, because I knew I was gonna have to stop working and quarantine and everything like that. So I ended up having to do that, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't where I couldn't like breathe or anything. I feel like I'm all over the place, but it wasn't like I couldn't breathe or anything like that. I didn't have those issues. The only reason why I couldn't really breathe was because my nose was stuffy, and that usually happened like at night. I don't know why it is at night that that's when your nose wants to stuff up and you can't breathe. So okay, symptoms that I had headache, body aches, my legs, my joints hurt, like my legs, my pelvis joints, my legs, my neck, shoulders. I was just really achy. Tightness in my chest hurting, like this dull kind of ache. Sometimes it was a sharp pain, and a lot of times that happened at night. I'm not sure why. Coughing. I was coughing bad, coughing a lot. This is probably one of the last things that's going to go away, is my coughing. Mucus, in your in your throat and your chest and stuff. I did cough, and I kept like a bottle beside me, and I didn't swallow the mucus. I coughed it up. I coughed it out, because you don't want to keep swallowing mucus. The good thing is that my mucus, when I was blowing my nose and coughing up the mucus to get it out of my system, it remained clear for the most part. So that's like a really huge thing, because usually if your mucus is there's a color to it, you might have more of an infection. So what others did I have? Any other? Oh, my eyes hurt, and I think it was because I was coughing. Like, I was coughing hard, and I like towards like the end of my quarantine and stuff like that, I had went back to the VA, and I got them to just do a chest x-ray and everything, because the night before, I should have went that night, but I ended up going the next day. my chest was hurting and it was radiating from like my arm into my jaw into my shoulder. I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. That's what it felt like. I mean, I've never had a heart attack before, but you know, I was like, well, maybe this is what it feels like, because I felt like it was kind of getting a little hard to breathe. I had to take deep breaths, and like I said, I wasn't having an issue breathing or anything like that. But when my chest was starting to hurt and kind of feeling like restricted, or constricted, I don't know, restricted or constricted, but you know, it was tight. That's when, you know, I started, you know, getting a little scared. So, you know, anyway, I'll go more into that, but later. But the other symptoms I had, lost my sense of smell and taste. That's coming back. And I did not have an appetite. I lost like almost 10 pounds, which is good. You know, I am trying to lose some weight. I still kind of don't have an appetite now. So I'm really just trying to like stay hydrated and stuff like that. So that brings me to what I did. So rest. rest. You know, as a gig worker, a lot of times we're working every day, all day. So I couldn't do that. I did end up going back at about like my 10th day. I went back. Of course, I, you know, wore my mask and different things, and I didn't, you know, have much contact with people, just be, you know, because they say essential workers, you can go back at like after 10 days of quarantine. So I did, but I still had some symptoms, so I, you know, wore my mask, was extra careful and stuff like that. So I did do some gig work still. But so what I did, I actually ended up cooking like a fish soup. It was like a Brazilian style fish soup, paleo. So basically it didn't have like any dairy or gluten or anything like that. And that was actually pretty good. I ate on that for a few days. And I really only ate like once a day. I ended up just drinking water, vitamin water. I drank that because I take supplements and stuff like that, and usually if you're taking supplements and vitamins and stuff like that, you really want to eat when you take those things, because it can upset your stomach if you don't. So I ate clean. I tried to eat like fruit and drink water, like I said, vitamin water. I ate on my soup. And some days I didn't really eat much of anything because I just didn't have an appetite, but I knew I needed to try to eat something. But you definitely want to stay hydrated. That's like the number one thing. Also, another symptom I had was a fever. So the highest my temperature had went up that I recorded was 101.8. And then it ended up one day I wasn't as hydrated because my temperature was going down. Like I was having a temperature and then it would go down. I'd have a temperature and go down, and it did that for a few days. One thing you really need to do, I'm not saying that it's a foolproof measure, but I realized that when I wasn't hydrated enough, my temperature would go up. So basically, if you end up getting COVID, or you know someone who gets COVID, and any time if you're sick or anything like that, you want to stay hydrated. A lot of times we lose our appetites. We don't want to eat or drink anything, but that's not good. You need to be. I drink vitamin water because it has vitamins in it. It has no sugar, because you can get the 0 sugar one, and it also has electrolytes. So I didn't want to be weak while I was trying to like recover. Hold on, y'all, I'm at Walmart. So I didn't want to be weak while I was trying to, recover and everything like that. So so water. Stay hydrated. If you're drinking Pedialyte, if you're drinking Gatorade, try not to drink too much sugar. They have the 0 sugar drinks like Gatorade, and even those body armors. I drink 0 sugar. I like sugar. So whenever I don't really drink too much soda or anything like that. So if I drink stuff, I usually have like vitamin water or the Body Armors that have 0 sugar or low calorie. I don't drink Gatorade. And I drink water. I have like my green tea, my matcha green tea from Starbucks. I mean, I didn't drink this while I was, dealing with COVID. But I mean, this has no sugar in it. I just get the sugar-free vanilla. And I'll do like 1 pump of peppermint, which is like 20 calories for like 1 pump. I'm not sure. It's probably not a lot of sugar. And then I add cinnamon and I use almond milk. So I try to, stay away from the sugar and stuff like that. Also, I didn't eat dairy or anything like that because dairy forms mucus. Dairy, sugar, carbs, different things like that. Those things will keep mucus in your system and will make it tougher for you to recover. So I was kind of in a sense doing a detox while I had COVID, because I was eating good. I was eating good when I was hungry. I was eating well and really just drinking fluids. Water, vitamin water. That's all I really drink. That's all I really consumed. I had the soup, like I said, for a few days, and after that, I just really didn't eat much. So the other thing that I did, I am into natural health and herbal supplements and being I would like to become an herbalist soon. That is a goal of mine. But I make a lot of my own products. I take herbs, I mix herbs, I use essential oils and different things like that. So like this is my spray that I made. It has, I actually got a few compliments on this spray when people come to my car, whenever I be doing my deliveries and stuff. But it has lavender, tea tree, oregano, or oregano oil is actually an antiviral. And then a lot of your essential oils like lavender, tea tree, those are antibacterial, antimicrobial. So I would like spray this. I would spray this like all over my car, and spray it on my bed sheets. Make sure you wash your bed sheets and stuff like that, because I did wake up a lot of times when my fever would break. I would be sweating and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your sheets and stuff clean. So I would every single night, which I did anyway, but I actually ramped up the amount of essential oils that I was using. I would put a bunch of essential oils in my diffuser, and I would turn that on at night. I will put eucalyptus, which is a good one to help you breathe and everything like that. Lavender, chamomile, clary sage, oregano essential oil. What else did I put? Tea tree. I have to give y'all like the whole formula of essential oils that I use, but I would put like 10 drops of that in my diffuser every single, not every single day, because the diffuser usually lasts about 2.5 nights or whatever, because it went up to like 6 hours and it'll turn off after 6 hours. So that usually lasts me for 3 days, 2-3 days. And then I just put in my distilled water and my essential oils and just turn every single day. I would have that going, and if I was in my room most of the time, I would have that going. So I couldn't smell anything, but once my smell started coming back, I was just like, ooh, I smell like a bottle of essential oils. But that really helped, because when you inhale these essential oils, they go and they work in the molecular level of your body, so they'll start to help in the process of just got a phone call coming in. All right, y'all, sorry, I had 101 groceries that I just picked up. Ooh, and yes, they acted up, but they're not in a apartment that's on a multi-level, so they just in like a townhome, so they all right. And I got my cart. But anyway, what was I talking about? Essential oils. So yes, I use my essential oils. That was like another, you know, natural, holistic way of, you know, letting your body get what it needs to help repair itself. The other thing that I took an herb called boswellia, because my whole thing was trying to keep the inflammation down, because that's really how this sickness gets you. You know, it inflames your lungs, and you know, that's how people be dying. I'm not saying that's the only way they die, but inflammation is a big factor. I didn't worry too much about my fever, because your fever is another way of your body trying to fight the illness. So having a fever is not necessarily that bad. I mean, of course, you don't want like a above 102 fever, because that might be like dangerous and stuff like that. But mine, to my knowledge, never got to 102. It was 101.8. Was close. But don't try to break your fever all the time, because that's a way that my fever broke on its own. I didn't really take, I mean, at first when I didn't know I had COVID and stuff like that, I took Tylenol, I think like once, or I would take it like once a day, but I always took it after my fever broke, because I would be feeling like extra sore and everything like that. I'm not sure why, but I didn't want to take anything that would break my fever prematurely. I wanted my body to work it on its own. And that's something that I'm not saying not to, you know, go to the hospital, get your medication, because I did get some medication. I didn't really take much of it. So I'm not saying not to go to the hospital and take, you know, your pharmaceuticals and stuff that they might prescribe to you. I'm not saying that, because I did. The pharmaceuticals I took were like, I took Tylenol sometimes, maybe like once a day, not even. And I'd take ibuprofen, you know, because I would just, you know, my muscles would be sore. But I didn't take it to just drown out all pain and all this. No, I didn't do that, because I wanted, you know, I didn't want my body to become too dependent and reliant on, you know, these pharmaceuticals that are really not that great for you. And I'm not saying that herbs and supplements are, you know, great for everybody in every way too, because, you know, even natural things can be harmful. That's why you have to do your due diligence and study and know how these things, you know, work and can work for you, and use them properly in the proper way. So I do a lot of research on herbs and different things like that, so I know how things affect me. But even like medicine is a practice. Being an herbalist a lot of times is a practice too, because everybody is different and we don't know how we're going to react to everything. Anyway, so the herbs that I took boswellia, which is actually the frankincense plant, because I have the frankincense oil. That's another oil I put in my diffuser. So boswellia is the herb, you know, the actual, you know, plant herb, and that helps with inflammation, joint pain, different things like that. I took that. I took rhodiola and ashwagandha. These are adaptogens, so they help your body deal with stress. Because when you're sick, it's stressful. It's stress on your body. So I took that. I took zinc. I took a lot of zinc. Zinc is one of those minerals that help with a ton of different things, especially immunity and also inflammation as well. So I took zinc, like more than the dose that you're supposed to take. I probably was like taking 60 milligrams of zinc. So I took zinc, vitamin D. Vitamin D is like a hormone. So it helps your body with different regulate different hormonal systems in your body. Vitamin D helps with depression, helps with inflammation. Vitamin D is one of those, and plus I wasn't going outside and stuff. I wasn't in the sun. So your body needs vitamin D in order to you know, make sure that its hormone processes are working like it needs to be. So I took probably like 6,000 milligrams. I probably could have took more, but I was taking 6,000 milligrams of vitamin D. Of course, I was taking my multivitamin, and I would also make a tea. In the mornings, I would make a tea that had I would make it with coconut cream and coconut milk. I would use a lot of the cream and the milk of the can of unsweetened coconut milk or coconut cream. I would use that, and I will put a bunch of cinnamon, like organic cinnamon, turmeric, and ginger powder in the tea, and I would drink lemon balm tea, which helps with nervous system and joint pain and different things like that. And I would take nettle tea, also a throat tea, even though my throat didn't really hurt or anything like that, but I took it anyway because I was coughing a lot. And that had different herbs in it, licorice root. I took echinacea tea. So it was like 4 teas. I put it in this big thermal, what was it called? What are those cups called? One of those like thermal cups, and I would put some honey in there, even though I really don't put honey in my tea, but you know, I did it. I really couldn't taste it. Like, so if you worried about if you get COVID, you're probably not gonna be able to taste anything. So it's really just a matter of getting those herbs inside you. The cinnamon helps regulate like your metabolism and blood sugar. Ginger, of course, we know ginger. Well, we might not know, but ginger is, you know, it's a powerful herb, and it's been used a lot with it's a thermogenic herb, so it heats, you know, your body. I have like all of these herbs in my head, so if I'm getting all jumbled up, look up ginger. Ginger is a great herb that you should take if you're sick or something like that. Take ginger. And what else did I say? Cinnamon, ginger, and cinnamon, ginger. Oh, turmeric. Okay, so turmeric, we all know that has a lot of cancer fighting properties in it. Turmeric is great if you're sick, also for inflammation, same as ginger. Antibacterial, antimicrobial, all of those things. So I was putting in, you know, and these things aren't necessarily something that's going to hurt you. This is not going to hurt you, you know what I'm saying? So let me get out the car because I'm at this person's house, and I'll be back in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to tell you about the chest x-ray. So after it took about maybe 5 or 6 days for me to start feeling better. And like I mentioned earlier, I did go to back to the VA. I wanted to get retested because, you know, I was trying to start helping out with my grandma again, but obviously, you know, wasn't, you know, going to be around her in this condition. I actually feel like I got COVID from my sister, because she has like 4 kids, and her kids were, you know, feeling sickly, and she did too. So, and she ended up having COVID. So I actually think that I got it from her. Not blaming her or anything like that, but I mean, it is what it is. But I went to the VA and ended up getting a chest x-ray, because I told them, I was like, well, my chest is, you know, just been hurting and stuff like that. And they ended up running a EKG. They gave me an IV. I mean, I was just like, I didn't know they was gonna do all of that. I'm like, I just need a chest x-ray. But they ended up, you know, strapping me up to the machine, the blood pressure the blood pressure monitor, the IV. They drew blood and do some blood work. See, y'all, and that's the thing with having like the cold or bronchitis, because I've had a cold, I have bronchitis. Seems like the cough is like the last thing to go, and it's like irritating. But like I said, I got my hand sanitizer, I got my essential oil, bacteria antiviral spray, my mask. So I'm not out here, you know, being reckless. Now I really haven't really been coughing much, but I guess because I've talked a lot, my throat is just kind of but and the other symptom I have is that I would get out of breath. So I wasn't like not able to breathe. It's just that if I was talking too much, I would get out of breath quick. I felt like I was, you know, when I was pregnant with my son, and you know, when you get pregnant, you get, you know, big, you know, sometimes you get out of breath. So I felt like I was, you know, running miles or whatever, and just, you know, having a lot of fatigue during this whole thing. I was, you know, you just, your body is weak. So those are more symptoms. I know my video is probably gonna be all over the place, but I'm just telling y'all what my experience is. I don't, when I record these videos, most of the time I do not have a script. I'm just off the top of the dome. That's what I'm doing, because I like kind of doing the spur of the moment type videos rather than writing out a script. I mean, when I do other YouTube videos, or as I progress in my YouTube journey, I'll probably have more of a script and be a little bit more organized. But I mean, I'm out here working and also trying to put out content, so I'm just doing what I do. Anyway, so when I was at the hospital, like I said, they strapped me up, they gave me EKG, my heart was fine. They came in, they gave me a chest x-ray, so they put me in like my own little room so I wouldn't contaminate anybody else. But by this time I was feeling better. I just had like this, I still just had this really bad cough. So anyway, the doctor came in and he was just talking to me about, you know, COVID and everything. He was just like, yeah, I mean, some people struggle with COVID and then other people don't. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, y'all, so I just had helped him put the groceries and stuff in my car. But yeah, y'all, so the doctor ended up coming in, he was like, okay, your blood work and everything is good. He said I would give it a full 2 weeks, because I was telling him how I helped take care of my grandma and my son's birthday's coming up and this and that. He was like, he said, just to be on the safe side, he said I would give it a good 2 weeks. He said, obviously you're not as contagious today as you were 5 days ago or anything like that, but just to keep it, just to be safe. So I was like, okay. You know, at least from going around my grandma, I give it, you know, 2 more weeks. I mean, a few more days. So he said the 10-day thing is like for essential workers and stuff like that, which I am. So that's why when I started to feel better and everything like that, I did come out here and start working again after 10 days. Because I gotta make money. You know, if you sitting around, you can't make money. So he told me my chest x-ray, he was like, your chest x-ray is fine. He was just like, compared to other chest x-rays I've seen, he was like, yours is pretty normal. He's like, there's some, you know, abnormalities there, but that's to be expected with COVID. He just wanted to make sure I didn't have any blood clots. So I did not have any blood clots. So the things that I'm telling y'all, as far as the remedies and stuff and the things that I did to, you know, treat your symptoms and help your body to work itself out and get better, you know, make sure that you're, you know, doing those things. And another reason why I came out as well is because I stopped, you know, I you know, start back working again is because I didn't have, you know, a fever anymore. I stopped getting a fever. And that's the other thing. They were like, if you're still having a fever, then don't go out, as far as, you know, resume your normal activities. But once you've been at least 24 hours without having a fever, then you're good. But still use the proper precautions and stuff to protect yourself and other people from you as well. But anyway, y'all, yeah. So I had to jump back in here and say that piece. And so the other thing is I wanted to say was I still don't have much of an appetite. So like I said, I'm in my because what is this? This is day 13, 14. So I still don't have much of an appetite, and my smell is coming back. It's not 100%, and my taste is coming back. It's not 100%. It's probably around like 70%, 60-70%. So, you know, hopefully that resumes back to normal, because I actually really do have a good nose, a good sense of smell, you know, and who doesn't want to taste their food? So maybe that's another reason why my appetite has still not resumed back to normal, which I guess is a good thing, because like I said, I am trying to lose some weight, but not eating is not the way to go. So if I try to make myself eat a lot of times, I'll try to make myself eat. Not necessarily anything huge, but whatever, you know, that I have a taste for, I try to, you know, eat that. Because, you know, your body does need nourishment. So, you know, this virus kind of warps, you know, your body in some ways, but, you know, there are things that you could do to help your body along. I guess I've been talking too much. But yeah, but like I said, y'all, I have my hand sanitizer. I'm sure I'm not really spreading COVID. This is just the the remnants of, you know, the symptoms, you know, because usually, you know, you can have a cold or you know, some sort of respiratory thing, but you're not contagious, but you still have those symptoms that kind of linger on, which is annoying. But you know, it is what it is. So yes. Okay, and so the other symptom I had, I forgot about, I don't know why I forgot, but other symptom I had was nausea. I didn't throw up at all, but I had, you know, just a lot of times, a lot of days it would be just this nagging kind of like nauseous feeling, and I'll just be like, ugh. So apart from all of that, of course, you know, you don't really want to eat when you're feeling nauseous, but try to eat something, even if it's like crackers or something like that, you know, some water, because your body still needs, like I said, the nourishment. And the other medicine I forgot that I ended up getting a few days ago was Mucinex. It was like a natural Mucinex with the elderberry. So I had that as well. So I really didn't take much pharmaceuticals, but like I said, I do have them on hand just in case. But for the most part, I try to take just go the natural route. And if I'm needing a little extra oomph, I'll take a dose of, you know, a pharmaceutical drug or over the counter or something like that. Like I said, the only drugs I took was Tylenol, ibuprofen, Mucinex. They gave me benzenate from the hospitals, like to help with cough, and I took that a few times. But other than that, that's like, I took those drugs like maybe once a day, maybe twice. I'm not really taking them anymore, except for my herbs and supplements, and the Mucinex for like the cough and the mucus and stuff like that. So yeah, so your body is designed to heal itself. We just got to provide it with what it needs to, you know, heal. So yep. All right, y'all, so I'm done. And whoo, these people had kids. They had like four kids. So they sent them out there to help me grab all of their shit out the car. So you know, thank God for that, cause whoo, they could have had them kids could have just been inside, you know, looking and waiting for their groceries to be delivered. But they sent them out there, and I was just like, thank you so much. She was like, girl, yes, these kids can help. So whew, that wasn't that bad. Hopefully they leave me the $15 tip, as this new system is predicting. I hope that these, you know, estimated tips are going to be what they are. But Anyway, so yes, that's what I did. Plenty of rest. It was hard to rest a lot of times, partly because I couldn't breathe, and because I was sore, and because my body temperature was all off, because I was going from having a fever to not having a fever and waking up in a sweat, and I'm just like so I really didn't get that great of a rest for probably about 5 to 7 days. I couldn't sleep that well. It was pretty miserable. But you know, you kind of just gotta let it run its course, and you know, just do your due diligence. Some people, you know, COVID doesn't really affect them in a major way. Some people end up in the hospital. Some people die. Some people don't even have symptoms, and they're carrying it and spreading it and don't even know it. So I did not get the vaccine, just because, like many people out here, just, you know, a little skeptical about it, and you know, being in the military and stuff like that, you just really didn't have a choice a lot of times whether to get vaccines. Like, you in the military, you gotta do what they say, and I was just tired of getting shot up with stuff. So that's like another reason why I might still get it. I have done some research, some medical research and stuff like that, and it shows from the research that people who do contract COVID naturally, like, you know, how I did, just came across it, they actually have a little bit more immunity than people who just get the vaccine and never had COVID. And then even if I was to get the vaccine now and I have naturally gotten COVID, I'm even more protected. So I'm still thinking about it. I might end up, you know, getting the vaccine just to be, you know, more cautious and everything like that. Partly because of the work I'm doing. I'm not, you know, obviously I got COVID, so I'm not worried about getting it again, but we all know that viruses mutate and different things like that. So I'm not for the vaccine, but I'm not against the vaccine. So just so you guys know, and whatever you decide to do what works best for you and your family. I mean, it's sad to see that some families are kind of, you know, falling apart over it and getting into family feuds over it, and friends, you know, different things like that. So yeah, it's really one of a touchy thing, and I didn't like how politicized it was becoming. That was another thing that kind of, you know, turned me off, you know, from wanting to get the vaccine, because it was just like, why are y'all politicizing this so much? Like, this is about people's health. This isn't about politics. But you know, we know how the government is. But anyway, COVID is something that you can survive. These are the things that I have done, and COVID affects everybody differently. I mean, like I said before, people can have major symptoms and some people don't have major symptoms. You know, it doesn't matter if they seemingly healthy or seemingly unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? My only thing is, do your due diligence. Take care of yourself out here. COVID is real. You know, and I got it, unfortunately, but you know, it's not I don't want people to walk around here afraid, because yes, it has killed many people, but so has a lot of things. You know, car accidents, plane crashes, like the flu. You know, the flu was a huge pandemic, a lot like, you know, COVID and stuff like that, but no one's freaking out over the flu anymore. And then the flu vaccine is not even as effective as they say the COVID vaccine is, not nearly. So just take care of yourself. If, you know, try to be as healthy as you can. Try to eat right. Try to, you know, wear your mask out here. Use your hand sanitizer. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know this video is going to be kind of long, but you know, it is what it is. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I am okay. I'm fine. And And those are the things that I did to get well. I mean, I still, like I said, I still have like a little cough and a little bit of, you know, mucus and stuff like that, but I'm able to get back out here and work and stuff like that. But that's what I did. That's what I did to get better. And I'm trying to make sure I didn't like leave anything out. Y'all hear that cough? Like, that's the type of cough, but it was like way worse than that. You know, take care of yourself while you're sick. You know what I'm saying? Take your bath, take your shower. You know, don't just sit in there just, you know, being pitiful. You know, yes, it's not fun. It's really not, and all you want to do is nothing at all. But take care of yourself. Take your shower. I mean, you'll feel better. Brush your teeth. Change your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're able to do. Get up. Get some fresh air. That's another thing. Get some fresh air. I'm not saying you have to be around people, but go outside, take a walk, get some sun. Because you don't want to be just cooped up in the house. Yeah, you don't want to spread anything, but go outside. Go outside where you're away from people. Take a walk and breathe in some fresh air. Open your windows in your home or in your room. You know, make sure you're getting some airflow in there, exchanging, you know, stale air for fresh air. You know, just I mean, you could take some of my you know, advice and stuff like that. The things that I did, you could try those things. Let me know if someone around you, or, you know, got COVID or you know, whatever. Oh, another thing I did was I took baths in Epsom salt, and I used Epsom salt by Dr. Teal, and the CBD oil body bubble bath that they have. And I also had some dried eucalyptus leaves, and of course I put, you know, my essential oils in the bath as well. And I did that a few times to just kind of relax my body, relax my muscles and stuff like that, and just, you know, stay positive. That's what I'm saying, go outside and get some sun and stuff like that. And, you know, don't be sitting here and thinking that you about to die and freaking out and stuff like that. Like, don't do that to yourself. Do your due diligence. Most people who get COVID, you know, don't die. They just, you know, unfortunately there has been a lot that has died, but the scheme of people who've had COVID who did not die and recovered, and those who died are, you know, the numbers are not comparable. So I feel like most people are going to come into contact with COVID eventually. But I don't want you guys to have a negative outlook or mindset. Live your life. You know, I'm not saying to be reckless, but live your life. Don't be out here just being ignorant. And I wouldn't even say ignorant. I would say being stupid. Like, ignorant implies that you don't have the knowledge. Like, we all have the knowledge pretty much now and know the basics. So don't be out here being stupid, because you can't catch COVID. Whether you mean to or not, whether you hygienic or not. I mean, it can get anybody. So, yep. So that's what's going on. I'm out here doing Walmart. I'll make another video. I know there's been some updates and different things. I have been tracking my updates, and I'm sorry for my late comments, because I know I had gotten a lot of getting a lot of comments on my videos and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys' viewership. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your subscription. I am at 240 followers now, and I just appreciate you guys. You know, y'all seem like y'all appreciating me and the content that I'm putting out, and I appreciate you guys as well for being supportive. And we're just a community of gig workers, and share your experiences, talk to the other people that are making comments, share your comments, your fears, your hopes, confessions, whatever you got going on with your gig work. And you know, we all in this together. So talk to you guys later. This is Tae's Way, and happy gigging.